Hello and welcome to NewsTeam Boulder. I'm Courtney Bowers.
And I'm Emma England, reporting on a very busy news day with President Obama in Boston speaking to residents of that traumatized city.
Meantime, investigators are tracking two potential suspects in the deadly marathon explosions.
But our top story, another deadly explosion, this time in Texas. Within hours of the explosion, Texans were already responding to the disaster and doing what they could to help. Abby Brown reports on how surrounding communities are pitching in.
Just 3 days after the Boston Marathon bombings, a tragedy struck last night in the small town of West Texas.
Meantime, the victims of the Boston Marathon explosions may be getting one step closer to getting justice. Papers around the country, including the Boston Globe, are reporting that surveillance videos have produced clear video images of two separate suspects in the bombings. Both are seen carrying black bags, one at each of the explosion sites. Homeland Security Chief Janet Napolitano gives more detail on the unreleased videos.
We have been collecting video from a variety of sources.
Gun control laws have been a hot topic in the Senate recently, and some people were surprised by Wednesday's defeat in the Senate of President Obama's gun control package. News Team's Richard Sanza has more.
Following gun violence in both Sandy Hook and Aurora, and on the anniversary of the Virginia Tech massacres, it's hard to believe that the Senate will be blocking gun measures.
Following the vote, a resounding chant of "Shame on you" was heard on the Senate floor, which isn't hard to believe considering 90% of Americans supported a reform in a recent poll. Coming up, a CU study has some hardcore partiers rejoicing.
And did you know that slavery still existed in Colorado? I didn't, so we'll take a look at human trafficking when we come back.
Attention hard partiers, time to hit the running track, because aerobic exercise may actually protect your cognitive abilities. A study conducted by CU's Psychology and Neuroscience Department tracked a group of 60 people ranging from moderate to heavy drinkers. Results showed that regular aerobic exercise like walking, running, or bicycling can buffer against and even possibly prevent alcohol damage to the brain. While the study is preliminary, researchers hope it will inspire future research on the interaction between alcohol and exercise. I'm starting to think the snow is never going to end.
I know. Ashley, can we expect this weather to continue?
I know, absolutely. The past few days, it's felt more like winter rather than spring. But after the break, I'll let you know when spring will finally sprung.
Thanks, Ashley.
So, Adam, what's happening in sports?
Well, we have the NBA playoffs to look forward to, and after the break, I'll talk to you about how sports is also helping rally around the city of Boston. You know, being a Buff, it's hard for me to support anything that the Huskers do, but you gotta admit, that's pretty cool.
He's so adorable, too.
He really is. Thanks, Adam.
And when we come back, we'll talk with Ryan Huff of the CU Police Department about their 420 plans. Joining us now is CU Boulder Police spokesman Ryan Huff. Ryan, you know, of course, that 420 is this Saturday. Can you tell us a little bit about what law enforcement presence will look like and what students will need to know about Saturday?
Sure. Well, it'll look pretty similar to last year. There'll be a number of police officers surrounding campus at all the major entrances, and students and employees will be asked to share their IDs. It'll be a real quick process, a couple seconds. You'll be on your way doing what you need to do on campus. If you're not a student or employee or an approved visitor, you'll be asked to leave, and if you continue, you could face a ticket for trespassing.
Gotcha. Do you think there's going to be anything different, maybe a bigger crowd, considering 420 is falling on a Saturday?
You know, I don't think it'll be a bigger crowd. You know, during the week we have a larger presence of students and employees, not as much on the weekends, so I don't think there'll be as many people here. There's also a lot of other events going on in Denver and at Red Rocks that I think will attract some of that crowd who want to celebrate that day.
Right.
So is it true that people are being directed to Denver?
Yeah, I don't know if people are being directed. I would just look at it as if I was somebody who wanted to celebrate that day. There are a lot of permitted, approved events in Denver and at Red Rocks, and Snoop Lion is doing a concert tomorrow night. It's all these things to do, whereas at CU Boulder, we're really asking visitors not to come, so I don't see what the incentive would be.
Gotcha. And how do you think the passing of Amendment 64 has changed plans for 420?
You know, it really hasn't changed enforcement at all. The only thing that's changed from a criminal perspective is that if you're over the age of 21, you can possess an ounce or less and not get a ticket for it. Otherwise, if you smoke in public, that's still legal under Amendment 64. If you're under 21 and you possess, it's still legal. So it hasn't really changed much from enforcement.
Great.
Thanks so much for coming. We really appreciated
Thanks.
it, and I know everybody's going to appreciate that information.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So thanks for watching News Team Boulder.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at newsteamboulder.org and on Twitter at newsteamb. Have a great day.